Stimulating. Mind experiment.
It's no sleep, baby.
Welcome, everybody, to No Sleep, the podcast, a comedy podcast, mind you.
Oh,
I'm 1/3 of your comedy trio this evening, and I'm going to start with a few jokes.
Oh, I'm ready for you.
Got my drummer ready.
yep.
You know what's a cool-ass name? Dick Wolf. That's it. I don't know which one's hairier.
The dick or the wolf?
You know, Hollywood is a really cool place to work when a great role would be playing a pedophile. I like to imagine the people who didn't get the part being like, he got that part, I would have killed him. Been watching a lot of SVU. But it's fun, because those are like juicy parts.
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Robin Williams played one on there.
I would have killed that pedophile part.
Yep.
God damn it. Can't believe they gave it to Jim Gaffigan.
They probably,
Yeah, he was on it one time.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was a pedophile. But I got one more for you. Wraparound earmuffs are the feet gloves of headwear. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the toe.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
the shoe,
yeah.
the toed shoes.
Yeah, the toed socks.
That little strap.
Yeah.
I saw a guy inside Hy-Vee wearing one. I really just wanted to knock him out.
Those are for bed only. If you're, I'm sorry, not to be, masculine forward, but you're wearing your wraparound scarf headphones. It's like, no, bed only, buddy.
Bed only.
Yeah.
Unless you're a lady or just, I don't know. I drive a Fiat. What the fuck am I talking about?
Cut to Toll McGrain. The Fiat owning me.
Oh, man. Toll McGrain.
Yes.
Yes. And I would probably wear those. Who knows?
Yeah. They're probably great. Doesn't mean.
You ever messed with the vibrating headphones that don't actually make any real sound? They just vibrate against your temples, so it's the illusion of sound.
Oh.
You can hear everything. Pretty weird.
Yeah.
Good story.
No thanks.
That was my joke. Was that your jokes?
That is my jokes. Yes, we
Okay.
have cut to you, I believe.
All right. Let's see. I'm just going to share a story. It's not a
Please.
very good story
Please.
either, but I went to the park yesterday. Alex has got kids. AJ doesn't have any kids. Going to the park is not, you think you're going to go to the park and your kid's going to run around, but that's not. It's like I go to the park by our house and it's got this thing. It's like a merry-go-round with swings on it, but all the swings are high enough that the kid's legs are above the ground. So it has to be operated either with other kids or an adult.
Yeah.
So whenever we go to this park, I'm like, ugh. God, I got to do all this work at this park. And whenever I'm pushing around, I'm like, okay, this is the last time. And then as soon as the thing's going, a line of little kids comes around.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when dad's got to be a dick to other little kids. Will you push me? I'm like, no.
Get a real dad.
Yeah, it's her last time. Sorry, last time. Can't push other kids. And that's what going to a park, dealing with other people's kids is just the worst.
Yeah. You think
And
it's
then,
just, it's going to be like freewheeling, let your kid run wild.
Yeah,
But it's not.
no.
It's pushing them on a swing.
They always need the assist. And this, especially with this thing,
Yeah.
there's no operating it unless you get a rambunctious one
And they
that
see
wants to do
a
it.
strapping,
Yeah.
capable young father such as yourself.
Right.
And they're like, we're going to milk this
And
guy
then I'm
for
looking-
every
yeah,
push we
exactly.
can.
That's happened to me so many times. I
Dude.
go take my kids to the park, push them on the swings, and then all of a sudden, out of the woodwork come a bunch of little kids that should definitely have parents there, but they don't.
Yeah.
And then they're like, push us too. I'm like, all right. So then next thing I know, I'm pushing 8 different kids.
Yeah.
I got this whole system going.
And you're like, this is fucking horse shit. Not to mention, I also did, I was like, okay, it's your last time. And I give her a huge swing on it. And she's flying up in the air. And then this line of kids comes. And I go, no, sorry, it's the last time. And then this mom finally comes, another mom.
And she's like, stop pushing my kid.
Oh, no, her kid is waiting. And I'm like, sorry, and then we're still hanging around. I was like, I don't want to leave. I just don't want to push these other kids. And then the mom gives the swing merry-go-round a push. And after she's like, Mommy can only do it once. Mommy's pregnant. I have another little baby in here. I was like, bitch, shut up. Like trying to make me look bad. Yeah. Trying to make me fucking keep
Don't have
pushing.
another baby when you have one to push on the swings right now.
Yes. Like, you don't look pregnant. Shit. Yeah. And then when they're walking, and then all the other kids were walking away. It was dusk. Yeah. And I was like, fuck it. We can go as many times as we want now. Yeah, and they're looking back like, son of a bitch. Like, yeah, suck on that.
Get
kids.
your own dad.
Yeah. Losers.
Yeah. Well, that was it. That was my story.
Yeah, I like
it's it's just like going to and you got to be awkward with other parents you don't know.
Right.
I saw a girl I used to work with, and she's like, "Hey," I was like, "Hey, how's it going?" And then she said what her name was, and I was like, "I knew,
I remember."
Yeah, and then we just ignored each other. I was like, God, did she think I didn't know? I wanted to be like, "Hey, yeah, I'm aware. I'm not that bad."
My brain works.
Yeah.
Contrary to what you think.
Yeah.
Start a whole fight with this.
Yeah. Oh, what, you think I didn't know?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, but I listen to No Sleep. And you're like, okay, well,
All right.
I'm just going to.
No further questions.
Yeah.
The defense rules.
That'd be awesome if she did. Just teasing.
Yeah.
I was happy to push her kid.
We could always use a new subscriber. We got a pretty good one today on YouTube. I enjoyed. The Fart of God was the name of the YouTuber that
All right.
gave us a follow. Appreciate that.
Nice.
Yeah. Sounds like our kind of guy.
It does.
Or girl. It sounds like having kids also doesn't make you like other people's kids.
No, I never liked kids. And then I met Everly when she was 2. I was like, damn. This kid's all right. She laughed at everything I said. Literally, I was like, our kid's the best? This kid will laugh like I read her Moo, Ba, La, La, La was the name of the book. Apparently no one had ever done voices for her before. And I was like, I feel like a fucking superstar.
No more open mics for you.
Yeah.
You got all you need at home.
That is about what happened, actually.
Lucky for you, I'm a bit of a showman.
Yes.
Song and dance man.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, all right, this one's Sylvester Stallone.
Hey, don't ever listen to Alex do this. It's not as good.
I believe it's Alex's turn.
I got one hot one for you.
I like it.
RFK Jr. looks like one of the close-up detailed paintings in Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, they do the close up on his nipple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like a giant pepperoni flies buzzing around it.
He really
super
does.
detailed.
He's so grizzled. Oh man,
he is not easy to look at or listen to.
I just want to get rid of the vaccine.
Fucking crazy, and I'm gonna make everyone else's lives crazy. All right, great.
I had a worm in my brain.
If you got any bears, I'll cut off their heads.
Yeah, he does look and sound a little haggard.
Yes.
He falls in the category of haggard.
Yeah, it's a specific category.
Then when
Weathered slash haggard.
Yes.
When he takes his shirt off, he's like Ned Flanders,
Damn.
the Simpsons. Jacked is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
For an old man.
Yeah, those old dude. How old? What is he? 60? I have no idea how old he is. That's probably a good guess.
Yeah.
He's all jacked and weird looking and super red and looks like he's been sitting in front of a wind fan for the last 35 years.
He passed out in a tanning bed for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Well, and all the Kennedys have such big heads too. They have big like anvil heads.
Yeah.
The better to aim at, I guess.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
Got him.
Too soon.
Pardon me. Yeah. Well,
I got a couple more stories.
yes, I would love to hear it.
Yeah, have you ever heard the tale of me getting hit at the Come and Go on University and 30th Street? many years ago. Anyway, me and my bunch of my friends were at the Come and Go before it remodeled and became the new fancy Come and Go.
Oh,
Right by-
yeah.
And
It used to be the worst coming
by far the worst.
It was
and we
left
all
behind by the franchise for about 20 years.
And 20 plus years ago, me and my friends all went there to get like 3D Doritos or whatever, Dr. Peppers. And we were getting back in my car. We get in, and the lady pulling out of the spot next to us just scrapes along the side of my car the whole way out of her car. And I was like, we all get out. And she looks at this huge scrape on my car. And she goes, ain't nothing wrong with it. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, I mean, there is like this big. And then I was like, whatever. I didn't care at the time. And she drove away. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, she just fucked my car. Anyway, a couple weeks ago, after a comedy show, Sarah and I are going to this same Come and Go, new building, same spot. And Sarah's like, I don't like this Come and Go. I was like, oh, don't be a weenie, whatever. We're going to this Come and Go. We go in, we get our stuff. We're leaving. And on the way out of the parking lot, this Jeep that looks exactly like her Jeep starts backing up super slowly right towards her Jeep. And I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing? I slam on the horn. And then we just watch this guy. So he just goes, crunches right into the front of her car. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And it was like 11 o'clock at night after a comedy show. And the dude doesn't get out. We're both sitting there. He doesn't move. And it was like, what?
I'm sure he's doing great in his car.
And I'm like, fuck. And Sarah's like, I could see him watching a movie in the car or whatever. I was like, oh my God.
He's watching Law and Order.
I don't even think he knew the car was moving. Anyway, dude gets out. He's a Middle Eastern guy. He's like, no English, no money.
Perfect.
No. I was like, oh my God. And it turned into this whole thing. The security guards over here. The guy didn't have insurance. And there was only one option, which was calling the cops and completely fucking this guy's life in the ass for hitting Sarah's car. And he was probably drunk too. I'm not. But he didn't seem to know what the hell was going on. Didn't speak English.
Great.
He had a temporary driver's license. I was like, no insurance. They're not going to do anything for us anyway. Right. So we just left because I was like, you can't talk to him. He doesn't have insurance.
You couldn't hit me in the Fiat.
yeah.
Then he got in his car and he's like, yeah, I just hit some asshole and I tricked him into thinking I wasn't from here.
Yeah. No.
Me no English.
I think and then one of the Quick Trip cashiers came out. He's like, oh man. He's like, I speak French and Spanish. I don't speak. I was like, you speak French and Spanish? And you're working the late shift to Come and Go? I was like, I don't know about that, buddy. I don't know about that, but okay. Anyway, so I got hit again in the same parking lot. And we didn't do anything and went back home in a bad mood. Right. But do you guys have called the cops?
Depends on the mood. I remember one time when I was in college, I was in Ames driving. There's a lot of traffic, like 5 o'clock, and everyone was slowing down for a light. And the car behind me did not, and just rear-ended me. Ba-boom! Snapped my head back, and I'm just like, oh, Jesus. So I get out, like in the middle of this, like 4 lanes of traffic, and it's a car that has like 5 Mexican women slammed into it. They're all crying. They don't speak English. And I'm like, it's fine.
Hi, puppy. Yeah, that was right.
I'm like, I'm not going to ruin all of your lives. Like, I think my bumper got dented.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk away.
Yeah.
Right.
So
good.
Yeah.
I think it totally depends on how the person who hit me reacts.
Right.
If they come out hot, like blaming me or something, then for sure.
Then it's on. Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy, I don't think this guy knew his car was moving.
I got to get the yapper out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This guy, and then he
Popped
pulled
the trunk on him.
Before he finally did get out, he pulled forward like a few inches and then went back into the car again, into our car. I was like, what the fuck?
Jesus Christ.
But I don't think he knew. Like, we were just like, nobody knew what to do. The only option was calling the police at 11:30 on a Friday night. Yeah. And it was like, they'd probably take forever to get there.
Yeah.
Just a car accident.
Just to arrest him probably for
this guy would probably have gotten deported, would be my guess.
Yeah, it could be.
The cops would have been happy to arrest him.
Right.
Yeah.
Cha-ching.
Yeah.
You're out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? But yeah,
And it might have been an empathy thing where you're like, well, I know a guy who's been without registration for a long time
Right,
himself.
right.
Know thyself.
But I have insurance.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not uninsured.
That's true. Yeah, I wonder if that was true or not, or if it's more he just didn't want. Because if
He definitely, you couldn't fake not speaking English as well as this guy did, I don't think, with this many people talking to you.
even during impressions night with you and Everly, no English. Yeah, she's like, I don't understand this role play, Dad. What are we doing?
Yeah,
That is crazy. I've been in a car where someone thought it was in reverse, but it was in drive, and drove into like the brick front of a gas station.
yeah.
And then they panicked, thinking they'd put it in the right thing, and then it was still in drive, and like drove into it again.
It really sealed the deal.
Oh man.
Because they're just so flustered,
Yeah.
Because your brain's kind of scrambled at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were at Taste of Italy a few weeks ago. The premier sandwich shop in the Des Moines area. Taste of Italy, fantastic.
I have heard this.
It's a little.
I've never had the sandwich.
It's like Graziano's. Like it's an Italian grocery store, but it's much smaller in a little strip mall, and then they make sandwiches in their top shelf. Yeah, they are very good. Anyway, so we ordered a couple sandwiches, and we're just sitting there waiting for them.
A couple sandwich.
Oh, a little gabagoo. Just sitting there, a bunch of people, middle day, and then we hear this like boom, and we're like, did someone just fall down really hard?
Yeah.
Or what happened? And then someone comes running in like, oh, someone just drove into the building, and like this guy who was parked out front of the sandwich shop, he walked out, got in his car, put it in drive. He thought it was in reverse and drove right into the front door of the business next door. Just drove right into it. Old 60, 70-year-old, probably 70-year-old guy. He's like, I have one of those knobs. I thought I was in reverse, And he was not in reverse.
Damn.
He floored it right into
Oh man.
shattered, like right in the front door.
Right.
Just like,
I just imagine a receptionist sitting there being like
yeah, right.
totally frozen.
a few years ago,
Shit.
I was in Iowa City working, which made it suck. Like getting in an accident really suck. It was a roundabout that you could only go two directions, and there was a roundabout for some reason. And whoever was in front of me decided that they were not going the way they wanted to go and started backing up in the roundabout. And I slammed on my
Backing
horn.
up in a roundabout.
I know. And I was slamming on my horn, and they just kept going and backed right into my work van. And I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. And I called work. I was like, it didn't really, like, it damaged the lower part of the bumper, but it didn't really do anything. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, she doesn't have insurance with her. Do I have to figure, like, can we just not worry about this? And the guy I called was like, I don't really know. So you have to call the cops, I guess. And the cops come, first of all, after she hit me and then pulled forward, and we were my head dropped like this. And then her passenger just fucking bolted out of the car. Just ran. Like
I got warrants.
ran like 1,000,000 miles per hour. And this girl was like 19.
Oh, yeah.
And I did call the cops, and the cops come. This is the only reason I'm telling the story, is that the cops come, and he was being a real fucking asshole. Kind of to both of us.
Iowa City cop?
Yeah, hard to believe. I know. And I was like, geez, this guy's kind of being an asshole to me. And I got hit. Like, what the hell, dude?
I'm the victim.
Yeah. And he was talking to her, and he was like, do you understand what I'm saying? And she was like, I'm sorry, what? He goes, do you understand? I'm sorry, what? He goes, are you hard of hearing? And she goes, yes, I'm partially deaf. And I was like, I really enjoyed that, because then he had to
That's
be all,
my bad.
Yeah. Then he had to be all apologetic about being a huge cocksucker to both of us. So that was fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't, but that part of it was enjoyable.
Yeah, a little comeuppance.
And then her mom came with her insurance. So it worked out. I felt bad. I wouldn't have called, but it was a work thing. So
Yeah.
we had new sensors in our vans at the time too.
Sensors?
Yeah, like keeping track of our driving and stuff. I was like, did it pick that up? Can I just ignore this? I don't know. And he didn't know either, and was like, fuck. So we had to deal with it.
Yeah.
Couldn't just run him over.
Had to
like
dry snitch on myself.
yeah.
It happens.
Yep.
I got rear-ended delivering for Domino's. Have I told this story before? I literally just ripped an entire bowl in my car.
Of course.
And this was on Hayward.
It's required at Domino's.
At Domino's. And rip the whole bowl, just set it on the seat next to me, pull off on
Away I go.
Yeah, pull off on Hayward. So it's Hayward and Lincoln Way, which are both pretty busy streets in Campus Town.
very busy.
Lincoln Way especially, right there in Campus Town. And so I'm sitting at that red light, just tuning the radio into Blues Traveler or whatever I'm doing. And same thing where all of a sudden I go, whoa.
Yeah.
Like someone tackled you from behind. All the stuff in the back of my car came like rushing forward, all that.
Yeah.
And the guy was shit-faced. Everyone else called the cops, though, but I got sent a bunch of paperwork for a year, or it seemed about a year, trying to get me to go to court against him.
Yeah.
And I just didn't, because I was like, this guy's probably has enough problems. I'm fine.
Right.
The car was a piece of shit. Also, the fact that he fucked up, they never looked into my car, which reeked of weed.
Yeah. You got away.
Yeah.
Basically.
I kind of got away.
Yeah, you're like, I'm just
Even
gonna
though you got
I'm taking
hit.
the W and
Yeah,
just walking
yeah.
away from this whole thing.
That's right. So I took my little light up Domino's thing off the top of my car, and I walked off into the sunset.
You put it on top of your head and you went and delivered that pizza.
down the street.
Shit.
Those are always my favorite deliveries, were the on foot ones, like right there in Campus Town.
Yeah.
You just be walking into somebody's dorm. It was always
And they're like,
cool.
did you just rip a bowl or do you want to rip another one?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes and yes.
Especially around there, like Campus Town. I got tipped by bong hit and beer bongs a lot.
Yeah. Pretty fun.
Frankly, a lot.
Yeah. That's great.
Well, and then eventually, I mean, I think I talked about this part at least, where I always loved being a delivery driver because it always made them so happy. Like you showed up with this little hot little pouch and you go, tss. And then you
who's
pull on these
mad?
spots.
Yeah.
Who's mad at that?
I do kind of remember this now. the story
Yeah.
about-
It actually made me feel good. I liked it. And then you eventually, you have regulars who like order the same things because people are very much creatures of habit usually. So they'd be like, Tim, he would order every Thursday pasta bowl with a side of breadsticks.
Yeah.
I already knew. I didn't even have to see the ticket. I just saw the order. I was like, I already know.
I got it. My boy Tim.
Then I'd show up and I'd be like, you watching Alien 2 again? He's
Yeah.
like, you bet I am.
Hell yeah.
Or
A real
Aliens.
routine.
Yeah.
Production managers in the backs of Hy-Vees are not nearly as excited to see me anyway.
This guy.
Yeah. One time I was driving downtown with an ex and we were stopped at a stoplight and I was looking in the rear view and I had a few drinks, but I wasn't wasted or anything.
Was she an ex at the time?
No.
Okay.
Well,
It'd be weird if you were driving around with your ex.
we were exes on and off for a long time.
One of those, a hot and a
Anyway,
cold.
well, only one of those really. But I was like, this guy's coming fast and he ain't stopping. And dude fucking like slammed into the back of her car that I was driving. And we get out and he fucked his car up so bad. She had an SUV that was higher up, but the front of his low ass car was completely fucked. And we all get out of our cars and he goes, "Toll!" And I was like, I don't know who this is, but hey, I was
Hey,
like, we
buddy.
gotta. And then he looked, he was like, huh. And we were all kind of sitting there looking. He got back in his car and drove the fuck away with his bumper on the ground. He was drunk as fuck. And it was going,
Just sparks shooting down the street.
yeah. And he got arrested hardcore later that night, we learned.
I bet he did.
Yeah.
And we had to call the cops and whatever.
I mean,
but
it does draw a certain amount of attention having your bumper
Dude.
creating like a flash
it was
fire
crazy.
in the front of your car. as
And
you
the
drive.
fact that this idiot
Just
knew
starting
who I
lawns
was.
on
Yeah.
fire as you drive away.
Yeah.
Well, it's great. I love that he hit you like the wedge battle bot.
Yeah,
where it's
exactly. It was exactly like that.
Yeah.
like, it flips over the one that has the hammer that goes like that. Or whatever. Remember that show?
Yeah, I
guys?
loved it.
man.
I love BattleBots. Some of them were like the wedges were almost cheating.
Yeah, they're too good.
Yeah, the wedges that could spin super
Yeah.
fast.
The
Then
wedge
the one
and
with
then
like
it
a saw
Yeah, it had
on
like
the
a
front.
saw blade. Yeah, like a circular saw
Yeah.
blade.
Yeah, that's what we thought AI was.
Yeah, right. This is the future.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch the new Dune?
No.
Prophecy?
Dune Prophecy. No,
I was surprised they add a little AI to the old Dune origin. A little humanity's war against the robots, the intelligent robots.
Oh, so there's reference to AI in
Yeah.
it. Oh, interesting.
I did not like it very much, though. I will say
Interesting.
a lot of characters.
Very
And it
interesting.
was but I wasn't in the mood. Maybe
Yeah, it seems like you and Dune just aren't on the
I
same
don't know
page.
I still watched it, and I'll keep watching it probably.
Well, it probably looks. Did Denis have any?
I think he's probably a producer or something. But he's not wasting his time directing TV shows.
Sounds like he's going to do a third, and then he's out.
Yeah.
Which will be the end of the Timothy Chalamet story.
Oh,
I
okay.
believe, is what I've heard. Because he's
All right.
Paul, I think, or something.
Yeah.
He said he was going to see out Paul as a
Sandworm
trilogy.
Jesus.
Sandworm. Yeah, that's how I like to think. Of it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jesus, I attended church this past Sunday. I went to a Catholic church. I was like, I'm just gonna give it a shot.
For what?
I'm just trying to.
Shits and
Were
giggles.
you dabbing your scalp the whole time?
Yeah.
Sweating.
But it was just something. I was like, maybe I'll get something out of this. You know?
Yeah.
My grandma, who
Bored.
yeah. And I will say I have a few notes for the Catholic Church.
Which church did you go to?
Yeah.
Because that makes a big difference.
I don't want to say it only because I'm
Okay, all right.
There's
Because
parts
he's
to the
insulted.
story.
Is it in the Des Moines area?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a
fair enough.
It's a very beautiful church. First off,
I know exactly which one it is.
Basilica.
I'm not going to say it's that
Or St.
one.
Augustine's, maybe. Who
Yeah.
knows? That's beautiful.
Holy Trinity, probably.
No one would call that beautiful, I don't think.
It looks all right from the outside.
It's cute.
It's like it's very 80s modern
Okay.
on the inside. They revamped
Carpet
it
in the
80s.
bathroom style.
No, like a lot of maple. I don't know how to explain it. It's fine.
A lot of wood.
Yeah.
Looks like the Roseanne set, kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of like what we
Sure.
got going here.
Yeah.
Just put like some stained glass, and that's basically
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
This one was beautiful, and yeah, it's very old, historic. And that was part of it too, where I was like, worst case scenario, I spend an hour in a really cool looking place. And I was baptized Catholic, but I only really ever went a few times with my grandma, and then also when she died, it was at Sacred Heart,
Yeah.
which was the place that she attended. But strangely, since she's died, more so than my grandpa, her husband, who died before her, but my sister did a good job of staying connected with her. I did not, but she was cool. Like, she took us in when my parents divorced. We lived in her basement for like a year or two, stuff like that. So I was like, whatever. Let's see what grandma, what the hubbub was. all about.
Yeah.
First off, grandma, you're a moron. No, it was all right. But there were parts of Catholic Church I didn't remember. They burn an insane amount of incense.
Some do.
It seemed like it depended on the priest at Holy Trinity,
Really?
but they would sometimes bless the sacrament.
Oh, they walk through with like this thing kind of swinging back and
Yep.
forth.
Oh,
That
yeah.
it is, like dorm room covering up weed smoke level
Yep.
incense, like crazy amounts, where I was like, damn, like my clothes smelled like it afterwards. So that was interesting. I liked how with the donation basket, they have it on like a pool cleaner stick. So it's like this real long stick that kind of like that little thing. You clean the
Literally, yeah. There's like just scooping up money.
Yeah.
They can stick it out to like way down the pew. I just found it kind of fun.
Yeah.
There.
And you're like, oh,
Yes.
not for me. Thank you.
Or actually,
I'm just checking it
I go
out.
like this, for me, thank you.
yeah. Ooh, I could actually use a little scratch right now.
Cash and
Little
fusion.
shorts.
Yeah.
Cash and
It was much appreciated. No checks.
You want to help the people, right?
That's right.
I'm the people.
So I really spent a lot of time just like admiring the sights, because I found the rhythm and the way that they did it pretty annoying, because it's like you're standing, then you're singing, then you're kneeling, then you're sitting again, then you're standing. I mean, it's a lot of up and down, up and down, up and down. And I would say, and I don't know if this is every Catholic church, because this one did seem like extra old school because of maybe being the older place. They do it super traditional. I don't know. But the priest, I'm assuming it is, the one who kind of leads everything, they would do this thing where they sort of sing,
In the unity of the Holy Spirit.
let us pray.
As our Father forever and ever.
Maybe put some money in the basket. I don't know. Just saying.
Amen. 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 Yeah.
That was pretty bewildering to me.
Yeah.
this guy can't really freestyle that well. You know, it seemed
But
like
I'm gonna keep talking like this, sort of singing, and
Sort of
everyone
singing,
likes
yeah.
it.
Sometimes you get a priest that's like wants to show off. Too.
Oh yeah, the priest is like, yeah,
yeah.
You've been waiting all week.
Unity of yeah.
you raise me up so I can stand on the mountains. You raise me up. But I found that pretty strange.
Yeah, it feels like a cult.
It did a little bit. But as I'm getting old, and because I do feel that I'm getting more spiritual as I get older.
Yeah.
I was far more atheistic in my 20s, I feel. Like where I was just, God's dead, never existed, fuck everything, metal rocks.
Yeah,
That kind of shit.
hell yeah.
Which was pretty awesome in hindsight.
Sure.
Maybe I will go back to that. But
You can swing
where-
back still.
yeah.
Just take the cul-de-sac around, and come right back where you.
so this is
started.
me kind of just trying it out, I guess.
Yeah.
See, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I was wrong all those years as a young man of being highly bored.
You're what they call a seeker.
Yes. I'm looking around. I sniffed around. There were so many babies crying. I went to the 10:30. There's an
yeah.
early one too, so maybe there's less babies.
That means
People
there's
waiting.
young people there.
There was a couple young people.
Shocking.
It was pretty filled up too. But there was babies crying throughout the whole thing. I couldn't help but feel like a little ironic that this church is making me want to kill so many babies. Because there was a lot.
I'm not sure that's the message I'm supposed to be receiving
I
right
couldn't
now.
hear shit.
Yeah.
I was like halfway.
They should have crucified Jesus when he was born.
Oh,
And I did think a lot
Merry
about
Christmas.
the Kobe beef of saviors. I thought about that line a lot. A comedian once said. But I would say by far the highlight of it was they do the communion, I believe is what it's called, where you walk
sacraments.
up the sacrament. Yeah, the Eucharist.
You did not.
Eucharist.
Did you ever receive the sacrament? Of
When I was younger, I did not do it this time. I felt like since I was mainly
Bit of a charlatan.
auditing,
Auditing.
taking notes?
yeah,
Catholicism 101. I'm auditing.
yeah, just kind of see what it's all about. I did not go up, but a lot of people, they'll sort of close their eyes and go,
Yeah.
and then I don't know if he's like
Lay
an
the biscuit.
assistant priest or somebody, but it wasn't the main guy, but it was someone also kind
Yeah.
of robed up.
They usually have a handful
Robed
of
up.
people do it.
Yeah. So maybe the
Deacons,
assistant,
whatnot.
the assistant to the regional manager of the Catholic Church. But he was sort of like laying out the little cracker on the tongue.
They still doing wine?
I didn't see any wine at this
I
one.
wonder if they quit that after COVID.
No, there's too many. I mean, I would imagine
Now they do slap the bag.
so many Catholic people at this point are old school Catholics.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
give me the fucking wine and the
Yeah.
bread, bitch.
I'm here for two things and two things only. The wine and the bread.
Yeah.
It becomes Jesus' flesh.
the body and
I
blood,
gotta have it.
buddy.
Yeah.
And it really
I don't just
is.
want the body. I need that blood.
That's right.
That 25% alcohol blood.
Yeah. Little Franzia. But so they were doing the little, everyone would walk up
Yeah. Yeah.
and put it on his tongue, which I was enjoying watching because some people were real like really
Thirsty for it.
daddy.
Some people liked it a little too much. I think.
Feed me, Daddy.
But as they're going through this huge line, because they basically do it like pew by pew,
Yeah.
everyone goes up. As I'm watching this, there's a young fella, I think like a teenager with Down syndrome that comes up, right? And he sticks out his tongue, totally normal, gets the cracker, and then he closes his eyes again and goes and tries to get a second cracker. And his parents had to like be like, Michael, no, we gotta get no more crackers.
He's hungry.
Yeah, where I was like, hey, I mean, got to shoot your shot.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
That's very interesting that you did that.
I gave it a shot. I figured I'd go very traditional, very old school, and then also the grandma side of it. I was like, maybe there's a Catholic thing I'm missing. Also, the McGrains are Catholic,
They are.
and I have found myself bound to them.
-1.
Yes.
-2. I don't know.
Raised Catholic-ish. My mom's family was
ish.
very Catholic.
Raised Catholic.
Yeah, went to a Catholic school. So I was like, I want to see how the other side lives. Pretty boring overall. So.
Yeah. Going back.
But beautiful. The choir was very good, and I will say, pipe organ, all right by me.
yeah, it's cool. That's
Pretty-
cool. when
pretty
they have
sweet.
Those.
When we were in New York City years ago, Angela and I, we were walking around, and St. Patrick's Cathedral is right by 30 Rock. All of a sudden, you're like, whoa. And it's this big, I mean, it's a beautiful, old, huge cathedral. So we went in there. I mean, it's like something you see in movies where you're just like, damn, this is awe-inspiring. Yes, you're like, I'm feeling it here. Yeah, I went to the little pew, did the whole genuflex, sat down. I'm like, I know all the rules still. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I'm feeling it here. I think I'm back.
You walk up to some guy and go,
yeah.
come on. I just want to cry. Please, Daddy.
Please, Sky Jesus,
Father.
Daddy.
Every time I go back for like weddings, or I'm like, man, it seems so culty now to me.
It's hard to not
The
see
singing and the kneeling and the,
the
standing.
chants and the
It's just all going. I mean, it's going through the motions.
It's ritual.
It's just being. No
Yes.
one's really thinking and all. But I've been like on the rare occasion to a few like church services where you're like, this is nice. I'm getting a little something here. I'm feeling the vibe. But it's hard. But some churches just suck.
Well, I couldn't hear because of the babies, and that was honestly the part I was most interested in. I was like, I want to see, because I was doing a little reading it. I literally Googled, how do you go to Catholic mass?
Yeah.
You
You put a yarmulke on for some reason.
Well, it was so funny.
I'm nervous.
I hadn't been to like church. Cause I've been for funerals, things like that, but I hadn't just been to a service in so long. Probably since I was like dating a Christian girl
Some
in
hot
high
Catholic
school.
chick.
Yeah. Where it was some non-denominational thing, but we still went. So I just did everything I could think of where it's like, well, I gotta wear khakis. I know that, and a nice shirt. So I got all like my little like teddy bear outfit and went in there. I was like, yeah, it was interesting.
We used to have a priest from Holy Trinity that was from New England, that was a former stockbroker that entered the priesthood, and he would give pretty interesting homilies. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, this is homilies. Is that the word I'm looking for?"
I think that's correct.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
that's a
Because I was
term.
learning about the liturgy or
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the
which
whole
is like the
service.
whole thing.
Yeah,
Liturgical.
Because they'll read like an excerpt, which I couldn't hear, and then
Yeah.
and then I think the priest is supposed to
Letter
give
from
like
John to the theologians.
that's pretty much how it went. And then I think they give their insight to you on that.
The priests do it. Does.
Yeah, the
Yep,
homily
yep,
is
yep.
that. Basically.
Yeah, then they break it down. They do 5 minutes. They're like, here we go.
Type 5.
Yeah, type 5 on.
So basically, there was this guy Jesus. All right,
Yeah.
that was more of that was me being a stand-up priest. Let me look at my notes. Yeah. Anyway, where was I? But I was excited. I was interested at least to like hear the scripture part of it, mainly just being like, well, this is kind of like the textbook part of it.
Yeah.
This is the point. We're gonna
Right.
learn a little nugget here, make us feel
You
good.
believe the
and-
word, like the book is holy, so like let's hear from the book.
Well, don't you sit? I remember sitting there and being like, does it have to be like? What if they made it less boring?
I
But
know.
they never do. In fact, people.
That's what the cool new church is about. Hey
Right,
guys, we play
yeah.
guitars here and have light shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be your next move. Go to a fucking stupid mega church and see what that's like.
Yeah.
You might feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get the Holy Spirit in you.
Only $39.99 a month.
Yeah. You should go to the Snake Wranglers.
That'd be all right.
Snake
Seventh Day
Handlers.
Adventists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking in tongues.
Humana dumana. Yeah. I like that. At least that would be a little kind of dog, that'd be a little showmanship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where you're like,
Yeah. And then whenever you go somewhere like a church service, anywhere, if you're a comedian and you go somewhere where someone's up in front of other people talking, you're just like, God, this guy sucks. I could do so much
Yeah.
better than this.
he's bombing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of them really aren't very good speakers, but I guess if that's what you chase your whole life, at that point, the foundations have been set. You're going to
Yeah.
be a priest or whatever.
Yeah.
Even if you're bad on the mic.
A kid that was in my class became a priest. Maybe I don't really care because he's a dickhead now. We were good friends.
Hell yeah.
And now he's definitely gay. And that's probably why he became a priest. And he hates gay people so much.
Oh, cool.
And
One
he
of
used to
those.
post about it constantly on social media and be like, motherfucker, you are a priest. Like, shouldn't you care?
You're a gay priest.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Forgiveness is kind of
Yeah.
even if you did think they were wrong for being gay, you would you're not supposed to.
He was
hate
having
them.
none of that. It was just constant
sir.
posts about how terrible gay people were. And I was like, dude, you're gay. Yeah.
Did you comment that?
Yeah, no. I think I probably
Dude,
did
you're
actually
gay.
right before I unfriended him.
You are literally gay.
Yeah.
Literally.
It's like the whole, all those Republican congressmen and shit fucking in
The old
airport
shoe tapping
bathrooms.
underneath
Yeah,
the stall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. God, I hate gays, but I love getting fucked in the ass.
One of those.
But I'm not gay.
One of those catch-22s, I guess. I've been hearing
It's
about.
ironic, isn't it?
It is. It's crazy.
Alanis Morissette had a song about something like this, I think.
Yeah.
About a guy getting fucked in the ass.
Yeah. I was going to say, was that Ass Fucker 2000?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a deep cut. Yeah. Didn't get the radio play it deserves.
Yeah.
It's a deep cut. It's a B-side.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was, yeah. I felt better just to know that it wasn't for me even. Now I don't have to wonder about that.
Now you know.
Yeah.
Now I know. Because
What are you gonna give non-Christian?
I might, because I've, on the way to Boone, every time I drive there, there's a temple. I can't remember exactly what type of temple it is, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, 141.
And so things like that kind of, even that thing out in Fairfield.
Yeah, the Maharishi.
Yeah, where it's like I don't know too much about, and I don't know if I even love the idea of following anything that has like one leader, like that Bikram yoga that turned out to be like finger and chicks or whatever. Where it's like let's just maybe just an overall ideology.
Right.
I even that I don't like the sound of. I don't know, just tapping into certain things. There's wisdom in
What
some
about
of
like
these things.
Buddhism?
That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah, where it's like even TM, transcendental meditation, has sounded interesting to me. I've heard it can help people like quit addiction and shit. Yeah, I think I'm just kind of going down that journey now.
Yeah.
Same thing with the therapy too. That's part of it as well. It's like checking it out.
Check it out.
And honestly, the confession side of Catholicism was interesting to me. But they didn't show me the
Ooh,
peep
yeah.
booze or anything. So
The what?
the little peep booze they put you in,
Oh yeah.
the glory hole thing.
They should just be kind of in there. You see the doors.
I didn't see. I guess I was looking around.
Yeah, it's not. It's just.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not anything big. It's just literally like a little.
But the
little
concept seemed
closet.
kind of interesting.
I said shit 17 times.
I called my dad gay earlier. He's super mad.
Yeah, say 40 Hail Marys.
Yeah. Is that what they'll tell you? Something like that?
Yeah, with your rosary.
So what is a Hail Mary exactly?
Hail Mary, full of grace, Lord
It's a
is with
prayer.
thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now at the hour of death. Amen.
It's pretty long.
That's short, baby.
You get the beads out though and start cranking them down though.
Oh, are there some prayers you have to memorize that are much longer than that?
I mean, the Nicene Creed, they say it every mass. It's the long ass prayer they do where
What is
everyone says it. In the middle there. Oh, no, not anymore. I don't think. I can sing the Our Father, though. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. I won't sing the whole thing, but
I was kind of hoping you would.
on earth as it is in heaven, give us this day our daily bread. Okay, I'm quitting. Feel embarrassed.
Yeah, I think the only prayer type thing I can remember learning, which seemed sort of non-denominational, was the "Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep, and if I die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take." Amen. I think that's just a general. What was the joke?
The joke was having a little doll that said the prayer, and then the doll running out of batteries, and then going, "Now I lay me down to sleep." That was a little joke.
Powering.
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
No.
Scaring the shit out of little kids.
Go to
Yeah.
but the confession part did intrigue me because no other church I had went to had something like that.
No, in the Catholic Church,
real Catholic
you can
thing.
do whatever you want as long as you confess. Don't, confess before you die. You're good to go.
Were you able ever to tell who was on the other side of the screen?
Always.
Always.
Yeah, yeah.
Would they be like, "Hey, Toll"?
In fact, we would do it like in school.
I wanked off like 18
Yeah.
times this week. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and you could have
Hail Marys it is.
I guess that makes it 100 million days in a row. Good work, Toll.
yeah,
See you tomorrow.
yeah.
Do you remember? I mean,
I never went on my. I don't think I ever went on my own. It was always part of school
Interesting.
growing up. Did you go to confession?
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, so you were raised Catholic as well?
No. So my mom was Catholic. She grew up Catholic. My dad grew up Episcopalian, but really he decided, like in high school, that this is all bullshit and fuck this.
Smart guy.
But then, like when you get married in the Catholic Church, you have to sit down with the priest and have a discussion with them. And They
Okay.
ask you a bunch of questions, and you have to, it's something every couple has to do if you get married in the Catholic Church. You have to sit down with the priest. They grill you all and answer all these questions. And my family famously, my dad was not happy with the questions or the answers and was like, "We ain't doing this.
Yeah.
We're out." So,
So
Catholicism basically left my family there, and then my parents were not church people.
Okay.
And then when I was like 7 or 8, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start going to church. And so I would get up on Sunday mornings and go to the Lutheran church by myself.
Like a little adult.
Yeah,
just for the heck of it?
I'm like, I feel like I need to see what's like, because all my my friends were all. One of my best friends, his dad was the pastor there.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, I need to see what this is all about. I need to go to Sunday school. Sunday school
Yeah.
sounds fun. I'm hearing all these stories, so I got into the church there.
I always
then I
wondered-
converted to Catholicism to get married at college.
My mom converted to Catholicism.
Well, from what I hear, Lutheranism is basically like diet Catholicism.
100%.
Okay.
It's fun.
It's
cool
reformed. They don't
Cool
believe.
Catholics.
They don't think the bread is actually Jesus's body. I think it's like they don't.
Lutherans are like,
bridge
we're
too
fine
far.
with it being symbolism. And Catholics
Yeah.
are like, no, it's
his body.
transubstantiation.
Yeah.
It becomes
Yeah.
his body and blood in
Yeah.
your body. Otherwise, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Right.
So,
I want to eat someone's body.
yeah.
There's a whole war in Ireland going on about it.
Because is the Eucharist the bread part?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned some stuff when I was there.
My mom converted to Catholicism, and her dad, who I don't think was that cool, I don't really know anything about him, but wouldn't go to the wedding because my mom was marrying a Catholic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's
beef.
it's wild what religion was in this country when I was a kid compared to what it is now.
Well, from what I've been told, when Lenny Bruce was making fun of the Catholic Church, that was legitimately like dangerous
Yeah.
compared to what it it now, where now it's like
you didn't talk about
But like when
the best joke
JFK,
about Catholics is Catholic girls like an anal.
they do. I mean, I think they. I don't know. I didn't
tale
mean-
as old
I
as
didn't mean to
time.
say it as like they do. I wish I knew. Yeah, I don't know.
They do.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you ever see Kentucky Fried Movie? You guys? Of
course.
That bit, man, not only
Catholic
was it
high school girls in
hilarious,
trouble?
Catholic high school girls in trouble. Yeah, that was a good one. I like that one.
I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like to look at this.
Yeah.
Had a real awakening at that movie.
Yeah.
When I saw that for the
Yeah.
first time, like, damn.
Boobs against the glass in the shower.
That's one of my favorite ways to see him.
Yeah.
Put him on the glass. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That was a big deal.
It looks cool.
It's a great display technique.
Yeah.
I will say that.
I'll
Soap
stand
them
by
up,
it.
smash them. There you go.
I like when cats do it too on like a glass coffee table. It's not just boobs. It's a great way to display anything smushed up against glass.
Yeah, it is kind of a nice way to look
Yeah.
at something. I mean, it's what they do in science all the
Yeah.
time.
Sometimes I like to get
With
two
two
panes
slides.
of glass and
Yeah.
just squish my dick and balls in there.
Yep. Put it under the
Have a look.
microscope.
Yeah.
They did that in the
Put it on
most
the
recent
plate.
Jackass. they made like a ping pong table out of
yeah,
their
that's
flat
right.
penises.
That's right.
And then they played.
That's right. Number 4. That was a good one.
Yes, I
We
liked
saw it together.
We did.
Good for us.
That was a good time. Talking about that, boobs smashed up against glass. Earlier, I was thinking about. I was in the shower.
Okay.
And I was like, is there anything more fun, really, than like horseplay in the pool? You know what I mean? Like when you're just like with your lady,
Yeah.
you're wrestling around in the water and like you're both all slippery and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It is. And they're like weightless.
Yeah.
Your hands are
Toss
in the
them around.
water so no one can see.
Yeah.
Everyone can see.
It's water.
Yeah. No one can tell
It's
what
pretty
we're
clear.
doing.
Yeah. Everybody can see the giant tent in your pants,
Yeah.
in your trunks. Yeah.
Sir, your hand is visibly inside of her swimsuit.
Yes.
We can all see it. Huh?
Yeah. It's fun though. I mean,
It is.
I'm not crazy about like the slippery part, right?
Oh no.
Except the-
especially when you're young and
Yeah.
like you're with a bunch of your like guy friends and girlfriends all, hey, let's go to the pool. Huh?
Yeah.
And a couple of my friends were lifeguards at the pool, so like we can go in after hours and we'll all go fuck around the pool. Like, yeah. So then we're all like playing chicken.
Yeah. That's literally the beginning of like all of my favorite movies.
Yes,
is that
right.
exact premise.
Yeah. Get a girl up on your shoulders playing chicken. You're like,
There's nothing cool.
my neck is so warm right now. This is amazing.
This is the best day of my
I think I'm a
life.
man now.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I remember a girl would like put me in a headlock and I'd be like, oh, let me go. Never let me go.
Kill me right here,
Yeah.
please. This is it.
This is the only way
Put
I
me
want
down.
to die. Yeah.
In a slippery
Yeah.
headlock in the pool.
I like it.
Yeah.
Frankly, I like it.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to go on the record.
I give that a thumbs up myself.
Yeah. So I thought back fondly to that. You know, I'm glad.
As you were stroking your cock in the shower.
That's correct. That is correct.
He just get a little
slippery.
rambunctious in the
Yeah.
the shower by himself.
Yeah. I'm so slippery.
Little
Oh,
horseplay,
gosh.
one on one,
Yes.
one on none.
Put myself in a sleeper hold.
Yeah.
But those are the, I mean, much like Kentucky Fried Movie, those are those moments that you're
Yeah.
like, I think I'm feeling something right now.
Yeah.
The needle in your brain is just pinned down. You're like,
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gay.
yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm still not 100% sure
Yeah.
though.
I'm a little worried, but I think I'm on the right track here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to realize your friends are also slippery like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know how I feel.
Yeah.
And then your buddy's like, get on my shoulders. You're like, all right. And like, well, this is actually way better. Wow. I need to rethink this whole thing.
I feel so
Yeah.
strong.
Did you bring a flashlight into the pool?
You're so strong.
Yeah. He feels strong too. That's kind of interesting. Never thought about it like that. Now that I think about it, I never thought about it like that. Huh. Let's go get some frozen pink lemonades and Laffy Taffies, all right?
Yeah.
With our partners.
The towel wrapped around my waist.
Yeah, really tight. Whoa. Yeah, I remember being a young man and seeing one of my friend's moms like kind of pubes peeking out of a bikini. And I was like, whoa. That's going to... I still think about it.
Yeah. I need to call the cops, call the fire department, call my parents, something. I don't know. It is an emergency in my head right now.
That was the first time I called the cops on myself. 911, I think I'm horny. Yeah. 'Cause I think I had just started getting pubes, which was very exciting.
Oh, of course.
That was a bit I was working on for a long time where I was like, I remember being very excited to get pubes, and now I don't even think about them. That's kind of fucked up of me,
Yeah.
you know? Like just taking them for granted like
You
that.
get a first couple, and you're like, I'm a man now. Here we go. Come on. Come on.
I don't
Yeah.
remember it at all. I remember
Really?
my armpits, sort of.
You're probably like 6.
No.
I just boom. Had a beard and pubes.
I do remember all the kids that had the dudes that had sex young. All had
legends,
All
of
had
course.
beards in like 7th grade.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, is that because they had sex or is that why they had sex?
Kind of a chicken or the egg.
Yeah. Their pheromones were,
Yeah.
and then they always find like the opposite in a lady, a girl that had tits at like 3 years old
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
You know? But they always wind up like
Yeah.
getting caught making out
Yeah,
or something.
exactly.
And you're
Yeah.
like, Jesus Christ, this room smells
yeah.
funny.
Like, I like G.I. Joes.
Yeah. I'm more of an
I know
I
what's going on.
Spy kind of guy.
yeah.
I'm playing Sonic the Hedgehog all day, but I think a new part of my brain just turned
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
I got a lot to think about right now.
Yeah. And then lying to all your friends being like, yeah, I've done a sex before. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Over the summer, I did a bunch of sex. Actually, you guys are losers, not me.
I never, yeah.
It took a while till you did a sex.
It did. Yeah.
But then
did indeed.
But then you did.
Then I did.
And you're like, it's so slippery. Everybody's so slippery. It's like the pool. She's like, what? And you're like, nothing.
Anyways, I finished 5 minutes.
Yeah, anyway. I'm just going to go down on you for like an hour or
Yeah,
so.
no big deal.
Yeah.
It's backstory. I'm telling it again.
Yeah.
To Butte.
It is a good story. I had mentioned Blues Traveler earlier. I've been doing a lot of Blues Traveler listening this last week or so.
Huh.
Why you always give me the run? I think that is in the Mount Rushmore of songs you can play that will make white people go nuts.
Sure.
Like top 10.
Run Around by
Run
Blues
Around
Traveler,
by Blues Traveler.
for sure.
In between the harmonica solo, the sort of white guy hacky sack swag,
Yeah.
and I mean, honestly, good songs. Blues
Yeah,
Traveler,
catchy songs.
pretty fucking solid.
The hook.
Yep.
Come on.
Yeah.
Because they just came on like a random Spotify radio, and I was like, God damn, do I love Blues Traveler.
When I was in
good.
college, they never stopped playing Blues Traveler.
Yeah.
They never stopped playing.
Were you a hater?
No, I was fine with it.
When I was in high
It
school.
definitely got overplayed eventually.
It got it was. I didn't seek it out to. I'm like, I'm listening to Blues Traveler today because it was always on. So
When I was in high school, I like hated Dave Matthews because everyone fucking loved it so much, and I was like, "Get this shit out of here."
Crash into me.
And I'm fine now with it, whatever.
who?
What?
Hornfest? Horde. It's like a gathering of the Juggalos type thing.
For Blues Traveler.
Damn. Oh, Apple Valley, Minnesota. That was.
Wow.
That's where they have all those weird festivals. The Gathering of the Juggalos. That's where that is.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind going, if I'm honest with you.
I would love to go.
I would check out
I would totally
gathering.
go.
I would gather.
I would paint my face. Like, let's do it. Let's
Yeah.
just see what's going on.
Because I think it's almost like a self-discovery thing. Because I think you choose your own face paint, sort of like a clown does too.
Right.
Where you're supposed, from what
It-
I've heard
it
in clown
defines
college,
you.
yeah,
Yeah.
like it's your character, your juggalo.
Right.
What would my juggalo be?
I'd show up as an old fashioned sad bum clown. The
Giant
frowny
downturned
Yeah.
face. Yeah.
Carrying my satchel or whatever. What do you call those things?
A bindle.
Bindle.
Bindle,
Yeah. I'd be like, is this? Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
I'm here to drink cough syrup.
Yeah. Little bindle full of Fago over your shoulder
Yeah.
on your way to the gathering.
It does seem open-minded there, I imagine. Juggalo does seem probably like one of the more inclusive.
I think they're labeled as a terrorist organization
Really?
by the federal
Wow.
government.
Huh.
Like they're on watch lists and shit.
For being too cool.
I remember getting a free sample CD of Insane Clown Posse at Casey's many years ago. They were
sounds
handing
about
out
right.
CDs.
Who was they?
It was like to
the case,
sell.
like,
I don't know.
If you
Employee.
bought some
It had-
Mountain Dew, they throw in a.
It had like 8 partial songs on it. And I was
demo
like,
reel.
I was like, whatever. But of course, I got in my car and put it in. And I remember the first song, I think, was about torturing a pedophile in a basement. But I was like, actually, this is a pretty catchy tune about torturing a guy in a basement.
For a song about a pedophile, pretty good.
Yeah.
You turned it up in your
Yeah.
Zuzu Trooper. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
I might unzip the windows for this one. I don't know if I really listen to much ICP, if I'm honest
That's
with you.
all I ever
No,
listened.
I
I had
never
my
have.
little sample disc. I did listen to it more than once, though.
Yeah.
Fawn's Pond, I think was the name of a song. Somebody can verify that.
If any juggalos are
That's a
listening
real-
right now, feel free to hop in the chat.
I didn't mind it, though. We'll say.
It was definitely a vibe,
Yeah.
you know. It was sort of in that same era of shit. I keep wanting to say Creedence Clearwater Revival, but that's not correct. Cypress Hill.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know,
Cypress Hill.
that weird like air duster kind
Yeah.
of hip hop.
Yeah.
Air duster white guy hip hop. It
Yeah.
Cypress Hill wasn't white guys.
was sort of, there was whitish guys.
Yeah.
in it.
one.
Latino guys.
Yeah.
White. Yeah.
That's big Cypress Hill fan.
Yeah.
I bought Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Nah, my point sucked so bad.
Oh, mine wasn't good either, but the best of Cypress Hill double disc. One of them had Rock Superstar, and the other one had Rap Superstar.
Oh yeah.
Big to get extra radio, you know.
Huh. So, like, was it split as in like only rock songs by
It was
them?
two separate, two entirely different discs, with the exception of that song, which on one disc was Rap Superstar, and on the other disc was Rock Superstar.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot there was the two versions.
Yeah.
Huh. Mm-hmm. That's
And I don't know if there was more to the difference than just saying rock instead of rap. I think there might have
My
been.
memory
but I
is
don't know.
a little bit.
Yeah.
A little
Yeah.
bits, but like 80% the same.
Yeah.
just that word changed.
That's as far as I remember. Yep.
So you want to
It's the
be a
same
rock
concept.
superstar?
Yeah.
Live on to me.
Yeah.
Oh
Bum,
yeah,
bum,
I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Ding, 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 ding. They're very famous. It's a very
I drank some Code Red to that. So trust me, I've aggressive inline skated to that, big time. That was something you don't see much either. Like inline skating, you don't see it like you used to.
No. Although I know this one, the producer extraordinaire,
She is a bit of a skater. Girl.
that she is.
Skater
She
girl.
was a skater girl. She
Yeah.
said, "See you later, girl." But not like you used to.
No.
Because I guess it was all the gay jokes, maybe.
Yeah.
yeah.
Could have
Shut
been.
it down.
I think it was gay jokes down there.
Oh,
I will say roller rink skates, the four on the floor that way, different story.
Yeah. Yeah.
What will surprise
Roll
you guys
bounce.
probably is that my buddy Emmett, you both know him, he was
familiar
a
with
competitive speed inline skater when he was in grade school.
I believe that.
Yeah.
He's an amazing skateboarder, and he's
Yeah.
had his little mono wheel thing he
Yep.
tried to do. So he was well versed with the foot wheels for
Yep.
sure.
When I used to live, which was his old place, but on Beaver there were a few times when he first got the electric skateboard. I think it
Oh
is,
yeah, the longboard.
Yeah.
where it could go like 50 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
he would go,
Yeah.
He would
Down
show
the river.
videos of him. I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah,
like,
hauling
no
ass.
fucking way.
Where I was like, oh, please don't get the speed wobbles where they go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then they
See those videos all the time. Someone like
Yeah.
going like on a skateboard, like a longboard, weaving down this like coastal highway road, just going 110 miles an hour,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden the wobblies start, and you're
Oh,
like,
dude.
no.
yeah.
We've all been in bikes do the same thing. When you start, you're going way too fast,
Yeah.
and you're trying to keep it together, and then the wobble starts, and you're like, oh, I got about 5 seconds
Yep.
left to live.
Yeah. Emmett used to fucking like by where Drake turns into Beaver ish.
Yeah.
That fucking huge hill there where there's like a decent amount of traffic. He would do that all the time on his board.
Oy.
He also convinced me to longboard for a summer when I was like 35 years old.
I remember that.
And after I would do it,
You're like, yeah.
yeah. And then for that summer, I really did it. I would get home from open mics all fucked up and be like, I might as well go fucking longboard down this hill.
Why
'Cause
not?
that Holcomb Avenue goes all the way down. I could longboard 6 blocks and then walk home. Just go straight down the hill, nice and slow, and you know. And where am I going with this? He had me try his fucking super electric skateboard. He's like, do this and this, whatever. And I fucking stood on that thing. And I was like, okay. And he's like, I just hit the button. I went straight, both feet straight up in the air, right onto my fucking back. And I was like, yeah. I was like, no thanks, bud. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was like, yeah, I don't want to.
It's not
do
for
that.
me.
Yeah, I'm not doing that
Right.
again.
What's
It's
the
not.
0 to 60 on this thing?
Yeah. About 4 seconds.
Yeah, I tried it just a little one time, just like out in the road right in front of Toll's place, just like just lightly, like the lightest to touch.
Speaking
But I
of,
never skateboard, so I don't have that kind of balance.
he texted me
Yeah.
and said, what are you doing right now? Then he said, aliens touchdown in Miami.
Really?
I don't know. I'm surprised Alex hasn't gotten any alerts.
I know, or my phone's
You know, I
Aliens
feel like that.
Is this like a Space Jam kind of situation, like the Monstars?
Emmett's been wrong before.
The speed wobble story reminds me, because I do a bit about this,
Wobble, 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 wobble.
about where I lied to a girl on MSN Messenger about being a semi-professional snowboarder.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I've actually told the story on the podcast before, but it was a girl I went to school with. And yeah, so we were flirting, and I told her that, I was like, I'm kind of like working on some sponsors, like things like that.
Let's get it hammered out.
Yeah, just assume. And I think snowboarded maybe once before, and that's the confidence of a young
I do
man
my
who's
workouts at Seven Oaks.
Yep. I kind of help them. I kind of sort of tell them what the pros do, and stuff like
Tell
that.
them how much snow to put down.
Yep. I like to jump with this much lip on it.
That's for me. That's what I like.
Yeah. Other pros, I mean, they might feel differently. It's, that's just my preference. So I was basically giving out that energy because I was like, well, there's no way I'll have to make good on this anytime soon.
Yeah.
Turns out that Boone, I don't know if it still does, but they do a yearly field trip to Seven Oaks, I think when you're in like 7th and 8th grade. Which is
You're like,
awesome.
we're doing what now?
Yeah, I'm sorry. What?
Okay. Yeah.
No English, no insurance. So I had to come up with some lie of like why I had to rent all the equipment. Right?
My stuff's in the shop getting tuned up.
It's getting
Yeah.
waxed.
Yeah.
It's getting waxed.
Getting a footprint gas pedal installed, actually. But so had to lie about why I was needing the rental
Your
equipment.
sponsors are getting you whole new gear.
Yeah.
It hasn't come in
It's
yet.
in the mail. This is before Amazon Prime. And she was like, I can't wait to. And I remember us riding up in like the little ski lift to the top of the hill, and her being like, I can't wait to see like your moves out there. It's so cool. And I think she said like it's so hot, and I was just like,
Damn.
whatever happens, it's worth it.
Yeah.
I'm about to be a professional
You look up like,
snowboarder.
I should have started going to Catholic church before this.
Yeah, that's
Come on, Jesus.
10 Hail Marys. All right.
The power of my boner will lift me above all.
That's right.
It's unstoppable.
Yeah, that's right. About halfway down, I think it was like the green. They have a few different lanes, like
Yeah.
the black diamond,
Black diamond,
whatever.
yeah.
I was like, no, sweetheart, I won't subject you to the black diamond. Let's do something easier. Meanwhile, I needed it to be easier as well.
Yeah.
Sweating like crazy.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You're sweating through your snow pants.
That's not sweat.
And about halfway down, there was just like a little kicker jump, where it's maybe 2.5 feet tall, this wide. And
Yeah.
it just kind of pops you up. But they usually do have like quite a bit of lip on it, because I did kind of learn snowboarding after this incident.
So you didn't know nothing.
I was like,
You knew next to nothing.
like a video game level amount.
Okay.
yeah.
Like all hypothetical,
Yeah,
theoretical
you understood
shit.
the concepts
Yeah.
of it.
Had you snowboarded at all?
I had snowboarded once before
Okay.
at Seven Oaks
Okay.
on the Bunny Hill only,
Yeah.
though, which was, so we started at the top, and I was like, I can't stop no matter what, basically, because otherwise it's going to be way too obvious that I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was like, but I do. She wanted to
All
see
gas,
some
no
tricks.
brakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, you're going to see some tricks, all right. It's about halfway down. I would guess I was going probably 35 miles an hour. I say 150 in the joke. A lot of fun.
Felt
there.
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it
Same
definitely
diff-
felt
same
like
diff at that point.
roughly
35 ain't slow.
was not slow.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even you're still, if you're not, because usually you
that's-
carve to
that's
like,
way too fast.
Yeah. And so I hit it and just instantly, whoop. So I was at the same angle that the ground was as my body. Like I was matching the plane of the hill.
Did you wave at her while you were spinning midair?
Nice knowing you.
Well, I did more of like sort of the arm swing to try to, because you try to correct.
Yeah.
Try to course correct.
Which does nothing, by the way. In hindsight, the waving and swinging of the arms in circles doesn't really correct you, like whatever centripetal force wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I landed full force, like right on like the top of my back, lower neck, and it's probably one of 3 times I've had the wind knocked out of me at that level.
Yeah.
Where you can't breathe.
You're like, I guess I'm dying
Yeah,
now.
like your body seizes almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't. I was like, and I remember much like when I fell out of the tree, which I talked about in the old podcast, but where I couldn't like get I had to be at a 90-degree angle, like sort of to make it down the rest of the hill. So I was like this.
Going 2 miles an hour.
Yes.
It'd be funny if you would have just sat on the snowboard.
Right. Like a
Rode in
sled.
on it. Yeah. And then I spent pretty much the rest of the day in the lodge. Nursing a tray of nachos.
Yeah. Did you ever did you explain what had
She was.
gone
I mean,
down?
she was definitely really shocked, and I mean, I guess that goes without saying. She was shocked, and she was like, "Oh, I guess just a bad day at the office, kind of thing."
Correct.
Yeah, and I was like, "Yeah,
It happens to the best of us.
I've actually never been to the office before.
yeah." It was kind of my first time in the office, if I'm honest. But overall, she was pretty cool about it.
Nice.
We didn't really talk much after that, but she didn't shame me too much. There was also, I mean, it was the full field trip was there, so
Yeah.
a lot of people saw.
You were shamed enough.
Yeah. And then, like the follow up of having to like sort of hunched slide down the hill and just sort of like undo the bindings. I'm like, oh,
I think I'm good for now.
yeah. I think I learned my lesson. The speed wobbles definitely gave me that, where you don't really wobble on a snowboard. Yeah. Cause you're supposed to do that carving of like,
Yeah.
that's how you kind of slow yourself down.
Now you're going a million miles an hour or you're flying into your death.
Yes.
Like there's no wobble.
It was
You
a
just-
greased chute that day, I guess, because I really thought I was gonna die. I was like, I'm gonna land directly on the top of my head, and my
close. Pretty close.
and my body's gonna compact like
How
an
far up
accordion.
did you get? How much air did you catch?
I would guess close to like 8 to 10 feet,
Oh my god.
which isn't much until you're falling on your
no,
own
it's
back.
plenty.
Yeah. Well, it was just so because you have to like sort of prepare, like you sort of preload yourself when you hit like a little jump like that. I didn't do that, so I was sort of straight-legged, pure fear.
Yeah, you didn't catch the shock. You didn't absorb
Yeah,
anything.
you're supposed to sort of ride up with it, and I didn't do that, and so that's what caused me to sort of shoot backwards, where my feet were suddenly like I was saying, I'm sort of I'm like at this. Well, I guess
Yeah.
In
The
bad
same
shape.
angle as the ground.
yes,
Yeah.
where it's just sort of like all right.
The last time I went to Seven Oaks many years ago. I don't know if I was in college but I was much younger, and I kept fucking like I don't know what the deal was. Every time I went down the hill, I would go past the border into the fucking woods, and I was like, what the hell is going on here?
Going off.
Yeah,
the trail.
I would keep going. I'd be like dragging my feet, trying to stop, and I would just keep going all past. Yeah.
There goes Toll
fucking,
again.
Art Griswold.
Yeah.
Breaking off branches and birds flying off the trees. Yeah. Well, it's just, I mean, much like surfing, which I don't have any memories. Maybe when I was really little, my parents put me on a little surfboard in Hawaii, but I definitely boogie boarded a lot in South Carolina. But I imagine it has to be like that if it's just so foreign, if you've never had something kind of on your feet like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I had been on skateboards before, never was like a skateboarder, but I was like, all right,
You get it figured out. Find your
Yeah.
center of gravity. Balance.
But it's so weird. Even, never mind that most of those places are super manicured to be able to be snowboarded on. You know, you were going full wilderness terrain,
Yeah.
which is crazy. It's kind of brave of you when you think about
I wasn't doing it on purpose. You're supposed to stop
don't know
well
that.
before that. Yeah.
They thought you were an
I
off-road
just
kind of
kept
guy.
going in the woods, past everything, and I was like, "What the hell is going on here?"
Wind up in a farm field like a mile away.
Yeah.
I'm not even in the fucking resort anymore.
What the fudge?
I don't know if it was because I was a big boy or what.
Had a little too much momentum. Yeah. Ooh. Did Story City do a ski trip or anything? You guys drive on over to Seven Oaks?
We did, yes. Yep. Had a
Nice.
great time, actually.
Did you snowboard or did you ski?
Skied.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, and that was,
You had to make the pizza,
yep. Make the pizza. Yep.
make the little slice.
I
of pizza.
sledded. We did that in high school as well. And
Oh, they have like a tube.
And I remember
hill.
the dudes that snowboarded, and I was like, God, I felt like such a piece of shit for just going on the tubes.
Well, looks like the toboggan for me.
I'm a loser.
I'm 7 years old.
Yep.
Toll in high school, and then a bunch of little kids like elementary, all in one tube.
We're all at the same skill level.
Yep.
Toll's crying, freaking out.
I think
It's all right.
we were the only people there, I think, just our class.
Nice. Little place
Seven
to
Oaks is
yourself.
still there, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
I
thought
have some
so.
friends who work out over there because during the summertime, Seven Oaks is kind of that whole plot of area, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think they have paintball and they do canoe type stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, in central Iowa, there's a place called Seven Oaks. It's a ski area. It's basically
A resort.
A large hill.
It's a decent sized hill.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Des Moines has one too. It's called Sleepy Hollow.
That's right.
Same thing. Where it's a hill. It's a good steep hill. No mountains, no rolling
sir.
hills. Just
Boone's finest.
yeah.
I did a commercial for paintball at Sleepy Hollow,
Oh,
and I don't know that it was on it. May have been on the internet, but
Were you emptying the hopper
it was
on
like
some fools?
110 degrees outside. I don't know. We never shot them. We just walked around with them. It was dumb, but yeah.
didn't shoot him.
Just look cool.
No, I knew the guy that worked there, and he was like,
You ever done paintball?
Oh yeah, I was really into paintball actually.
I've always wanted to. Yeah.
Little Tipman 98. I still remember some of the brands because I would, much like a lot
People
of
got
stuff in
really
my life.
into it.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I would get like the. I think they'd be in East Bay sometimes, like the sports catalog.
yeah, uh-huh.
And if not, I would definitely get online and be like, what I'd give for a Tipman 98 custom. With it.
It's like the little metal rail gun with like a big feeder on top,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's a big hopper.
Yeah.
And then, and they really hurt too because they'll leave like real welts and
I've
bruises.
seen
and stuff.
Jackass.
But the Tipmans and stuff like that with that CO2 tank you get on the bottom.
yeah.
But then you can even adjust with the fancier ones. You can adjust like the PSI that it's hitting with, so you can make it hurt less or more.
Yeah.
And then everyone with the nice stuff would always make it hurt more because
of course.
because the dicks.
A friend of mine went paintballing for a bachelor party and didn't get injured by the paintballs, but the meniscus, I think, is that between it's between, right? It flipped
Oh,
when he was out of commission for months after that. Yeah.
army crawling during paintball.
Yeah.
too.
I don't know how he did it, but it's like, damn, dog.
If I had a paintball now, I want like a machine gun with like a belt feeder where I could just sit and just hose people down with it, you know?
And they have ones that are like fully auto, semi-auto. It's
Yeah.
like a whole. I mean, I was really, really into it. For
Yeah, I haven't
the-
checked in with the paintball. I guess it was hot like maybe 20 years ago. I haven't checked
Yeah.
in with that world. It was hot for a while. I would
Well,
like to see what their technology is now. They probably have, God knows what they have now.
Oh, I'm sure it's
Drone
amazing.
strikes and shit. Who knows?
Yeah, that,
Just drop a giant balloon of
well, because a lot of
on
it,
top of someone's head.
they'll use
Boom.
it for training. You know, in certain like tactical training. I'm sure for military stuff, they probably use paintball or some version of it, some paint bullet kind of thing. Yeah, and then there'd even my dream was always to get the ghillie suit and then be like the paintball sniper.
Yeah,
where I'd have like
Ooh,
a
yeah.
big scope and I'd be
I like that too. Yeah, that might
looking
that might
through
be
the
my move,
reticle
yeah.
and being like,
You're like Barry Pepper and fucking
wind coming in from the
Saving
east a
Private
little,
Ryan.
with like a big bolt that I
Yeah,
had.
hit Nazis in
Yeah,
the
Lord is
fucking
my
forehead
savior.
from
I shall not
300
walk.
yards away. Yeah, bold action.
Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no.
Ping, ping.
Yeah, and I just always loved that the big sort of the creature from the black. Oh no, whatever that the
Yeah.
ghillie suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look like a
Swamp thing.
Yeah, Swamp Thing would be a better one. Creature from the Black Lagoon is more sleek than that.
Yeah.
But kind of a big furry bush, and you're like,
Yeah.
you can't see me. And I think it's also maybe if you live out in the country, it's a thing to do out there. So a lot of people, we were living out in the country for the most part when we were in Boone. So a lot of kids out there do it because it's like, what do you want to do?
We got a lot of space.
We can go shoot the old barn with paintballs.
I mean, we used to fucking throw rocks at each other.
yeah. Throw rocks at
So,
trains.
Yeah.
Do you ever do like the little quarter like penny trick where you put a penny
Oh,
on
all the time.
train? Then
Oh, yeah.
flatten
And
it
the
out?
train track was like a 8-minute walk from my house. So it's time to go whip rocks at the train and or put pennies on the tracks.
Time to give the train the finger for a couple hours.
Yeah.
Good times, man.
Fucking with trains.
My mom had a necklace made of squished coins.
That's cool.
Isn't it? It was I'm glad I brought it up.
I mean,
It's worth $1.48.
I wish I could see it. Probably cool.
Yeah.
I like that kind of stuff. I was a sucker for, I think maybe Amana Colonies and places like that.
Oh, yeah.
Where you put the penny in and then you go
Crank.
crank, and then it comes out real
Ruin a
thin.
penny. Yeah.
Go to South Dakota. Go to
Wall Drug.
Go to the Wall Drug, the Corn Palace.
That's right.
You better believe you're cranking a penny through there.
That's right.
Big
What a
fun.
deal. This is only 50 cents to squish this penny.
It's fun though, especially as a kid. It's amazing what at least back then. Now I guess it's phones.
Yeah.
'Cause I never
suppose.
remember asking for a phone. I loved video games, but the phone had not become that yet. Where I
No.
feel like all my nieces and nephews are like, "What games you got?"
It's also funny trying to be like, no, you can't use the phone, even though, you and mom are just constantly staring at your own phone.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, this isn't for kids.
Nice try.
Yeah.
You hit the vape,
Yeah.
a little toot on the vape.
Yeah. I'm getting a
your
lot of,
troubles.
what is this? This will fall out of my pocket. And of course, it's like with this sleek.
It's Daddy's phone.
It sure
Yeah,
looks like
yeah.
fun. It's my pager.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know what a pager is, Alex.
I know.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
Did you ever have a pager?
Nah. What would I do with the pager?
I bet Dave had a pager. He didn't?
That's surprising, actually. I would have guessed you had like a couple.
Was that too highfalutin for you?
Yeah.
My firm made me get a cell phone. I didn't want it.
In what year?
Can I see your vape, as a matter of fact? I only vape when I
That's about when I
pop.
got
good.
mine. Yeah.
That's a good one.
I'm like one of those girls that would come into the Fighting Burrito real drunk, and they'd be like, I only smoke when I drink.
I only vape when I podcast, okay?
And then I'd be like, well, you drink every day. so- I only vape when I podcast.
Yep.
Yep.
I normally don't do stuff like that. Yeah. Peak, yeah. Blues Traveler, peak white guy magic is what I wrote down, actually. What you know about Blues Traveler?
Not a lot. 2 songs.
There was a video on TikTok that kind of sent me on the whole Blues Traveler thing of them. I think it was like 2003 or so on Stern playing it live because he would do
The harmonica.
the harmonica thing.
Mind blowing.
Was nuts.
I saw it recently.
Very
Yes.
impressive.
Like
Yeah.
I mean, it's better live.
He has a little vest with all the
Yeah.
pockets for.
He's a huskier guy, which I appreciate. I'm like, I love seeing.
I think is he still alive?
Yes.
He got much less husky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
still alive, still going. I might try to catch a Blues Traveler show, as a matter of fact.
I'd go.
Nice. I remember they were featured in Kingpin at the end.
Hell yeah. I like, maybe we see it a little bit still, but I loved a good beginning of the credits movie just ended song.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Really-
End credits
really-
song, I guess. What we call it. That was a whole way to make a
It's
song.
a real
blow up.
bookend on a movie. Yep.
Yeah.
Back when movie soundtracks were a thing.
Where it'd be cut to black.
They
and then-
still, I mean, like the old Guardians of the Galaxy sold a shitload
But it
of.
used to be
Yeah.
like sometimes
It used to be original
sometimes
for the
a garbage
movie. Yes.
movie would come out, but the soundtrack would be banging.
It'd be way bigger than, yeah.
Yeah,
You still hear St. Elmo's Fire on the bus.
sure do.
And it's like, damn, this song is also bad, but
Yeah.
I guess. I can't remember how it goes at all. Otherwise, I'd be singing it right now.
I love when you sing. Sing for me. Is that speaking of what you know about Blues Traveler? The what you know about Tesla story is a true story.
Absolutely, yeah. Those exact words. I was fucking terrified.
And he was on like
And I
work
was like, what
release
the
or
hell's going
something?
on? I think he just gotten out of jail
Right.
For throwing a dude out of
for throwing a
moving car.
man out of a moving vehicle, and that guy died.
And so were you driving at this?
I was driving because he was the temp.
And so you're in like a work van of some
Yeah,
sort.
a big truck.
Tesla comes on
Yeah.
and he goes, "Re?"
Turns it all the way up to the where these crappy moving truck speakers are blowing.
Oh yeah,
Like
they're just like
door
total
speakers.
total distortion. Yeah.
What you know about Tesla? I was like, they're okay. It was a large man, large muscular black man that had just gotten out of prison.
Not someone who you would think would be a big.
Yeah.
That was the
Tesla
most
fan.
surprising.
Tesla's my favorite part.
Yeah,
That's a burnout old white guy band right there.
very so much so.
yeah.
everything about it seems false. And it's
Tesla's all right
true.
by me. I wish you could go up louder. Honestly.
Yeah.
Don't try to suck up to me.
I'll throw you right out this truck.
Please, sir.
Yeah. It's a
What
weird
was
day.
that the pool table job?
That was pool tables. Yep.
Nice. That was good
Yeah.
living.
That was it. I liked that job. Kind of.
Oh, I mean,
a while.
sort of like my delivering
for a
pizza
while.
and food
Yeah.
job where, as-
People were happy to get their pool tables.
yeah, I'm sure they were.
They really were. And you had to build it, essentially,
Yeah.
and level it and wax it and cover it, cover the rails. You had to do all that shit in like
So did you have
2
like,
hours.
a level that you'd sit there and like
Yeah.
make the little bubble? And be
Then
like,
you'd roll the ball at the end, make sure everything was good.
Huh.
That it didn't hit any bumps in the middle. Put beeswax on the slate.
and you'd be
It
like,
was nice.
my
Now I
work here is
just
done.
deliver beer like an idiot.
Well, we can start our own. I mean, obviously, we both love delivering things, so
That's true.
I think we could figure something out.
Yeah. Delivering laughs on podcasts.
Oh,
There you go.
I do like that. Oh yeah, I've been spending some time on Reddit advice. So it's like the subreddit advice.
Great subreddit.
Really good subreddit, as a matter of fact. The first one I saw when I decided to like start following it and looking at it. Is it normal for my boyfriend to sniff my ass all the time? was the trending hot one when I joined it, and I was like, all right by me.
Yeah, seems like the situation.
Yeah. Also, like, I would want advice as well on
depends.
this.
Yeah.
I was curious, and people were giving pretty good advice. A lot of them were like, so is it, I mean, and she was describing, she was like, sometimes he sort of lifts my legs up like a baby and smells like from crack to front and all these things.
Wow.
He's really into it.
He really loves sniffing her ass.
Huh.
Yeah. How about that? So check it
I
out.
go, I
folks.
check out.
So check that out, folks.
I look at porn in 15 seconds. That's the only thing I look at on Reddit.
Porn in 15 seconds. Is that what it's called?
They take a whole like from one pornographic movie, all the highlights to the end
The sizzle reel.
in 15 seconds. Yeah. And then
You
you're like,
watch
"Ow!"
it, you're like, nice.
Yeah.
A good
So
one.
it's just like a GIF that kind of loops.
Basically, yep.
Wow. Just
Not basically. I think that's exactly what it is.
that's what it is. Porn in 15
Never any
seconds?
sound though.
Huh.
Get out of here, Reddit porn with no sound.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need my ears.
I want my ears to be stimulated.
That's right.
I remember the first time that ever happened to me. Kind of like the slippery in the pool
Uh-oh.
thing, where the first time a lady like sucked on my earlobe or something.
Yeah.
You ever had stuff like that?
Yeah, I remember being grossed out by tongue in the ears. I was like,
I don't think it has to be tongue all the way, but just like sucking on the lobe.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like, whoa.
You're like, I'm listening.
Yeah. You have my attention.
little ear nibble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's the combination of like the breath and all
Oh
that,
yeah.
you know?
Oh yeah.
Boner City.
And the ear's just like,
Oh my.
I feel like I'm getting the Eucharist. Yeah, I want to put a GoPro on a priest and then just get that footage of everyone going,
Yeah, right here.
yeah. Some damning evidence. Well, folks, I think I've issued all of my. Oh,
Was that it? I was gonna say, is that the whole scroll?
I think. Well, no, I did leave one very important one off. I had more stuff about the Reddit. It's just the funniest part is then also the people being like, "I totally get it. I fucking love sniffing my girlfriend's ass." You know? Where it's like you see all the flavors of the world in the.
People that are repulsed, people that are like, no, this is my
Yeah,
jam.
people who are just
confused.
scientifically curious, where
Yeah.
they're like, "That's
Is
interesting."
it advice? Just general advice?
It's just you can ask for any advice. Where someone will be like, I just found out my brother is in love with my sister, like is having sex with my sister, or there would be something crazy like that, or it'll just be like, how do I pick? I'm 18. How do I pick my new career?
Yeah.
All in the same kind of flow chart of shit.
Yes.
And you're like,
It's the magic of the internet.
Yes.
It's the magic of Reddit for sure.
The other thing I wrote down, I farted in my car, got out to pump gas, closed the door, then got back in a few minutes later and was like, damn, who the fuck farted?
I love it.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing to
Where I
do.
just kind of forgot about that. I was like, smells like fucking farting.
Fart did not forget about you though.
Yeah. Where I was like,
Just hanging
need to
around.
cut back on the granola, I guess. Yeah.
I love farting myself and other people out of cars
Yeah.
Out of cars.
while they're stuck in the car.
Yeah.
So they can't leave, and neither can I. But I like it myself, you know. But
Well, we like our own farts from what
Yeah.
I can tell. But that was the issue, was that there had been enough time separated from the fart that I was like, I don't even recognize you anymore.
Yeah.
I told we were just talking about pool tables. I won't, but
I like pool tables.
there was one time these people had a basement that it wasn't like a full basement. It was like a small room that you took one flight, 2 flights, and then like a half flight. But it wasn't quite like it was like a separate. It wasn't under the house. It was like separate and away from the house.
Interesting.
One small room, and I just kept farting in this room. You guys kept farting
In a
And it was-
basement bunker.
that was back when I was a real healthy boy too.
Right.
You know.
Beer farts.
Yeah, and all we ever ate was Burger King every single day. And this is the same era where one time my sister came home and I was at my family's house using the computer, and she walked in the house and goes, "Is someone smoking cigars in here?" Anyway,
My
it
ass
smelled-
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember it
Yeah,
having to get these people to pay. So I walk upstairs and I'm like, "Yeah, we got your pool table done. Come on down and check it out."
Give her a look.
And we walked down into the basement, and I was like,
There's green fog in there.
I was like, it smells like somebody took a fucking shit in this basement. Like it smells like
there's no ventilation at all.
Like I covered their, instead of felt, I used shit to cover their pool table. And they didn't say, I was like, like,
Here it is.
Let's
Yeah.
all pretend this isn't happening.
That
Who
new-
wants to play billiards?
That new pool table smell. Yeah.
Yep.
My favorite. This new glue we got.
Yeah. It's made of
Something
sulfur.
Yeah.
Sulfur and rotten sausage, I
A
guess.
little bit of bush light.
Yeah.
Smells like a witch's cauldron down here. Yeah. Well, folks, it doesn't get much better than that. I think we can all agree. Shyla, thank you as always, executive producer. She keeps this. She writes the notes. She switches the shots. She does it all, baby. Dave, as always, Peanut Gallery, and for letting us do it in the place you pay for. Appreciate that.
Pretty nice. Honestly, pretty nice.
Honestly,
It is.
pretty cool. Yeah. Not gonna lie. Venmo at Tobocop. Support your local girl
Yeah.
dad.
Heck yeah.
Black Hat Ice Cream. How's that new location coming? Don't worry.
Oh, baby.
Teehee's Comedy Club, right around the corner.
Heck
That's
yeah.
what I heard.
Which corner?
Well,
It's funny that you move closer.
Well,
You move closer to Teehee's, but Teehee's got further away.
that's right.
Oh man.
kind of ironic, some might say.
It's
Don't you think?
ironic. We're talking about Alanis Morissette.
Yeah, I remember. Mm-hmm. More like Alanis Lesser
Boom, hit it.
I was singing Alanis Morissette with Wes in the car when we were watching that Tyson fight. We went to
Yes. No, we didn't even get into
Quick
that. I
Trip.
should have wrote that down.
We should have brought that up. Oh well,
What
but
a
it
nightmare.
was funny because he kept making fun of me singing it. So it was fun.
It
Good
was all-
story. I'm glad I ended the podcast with that.
I like it. I would say one of my favorite moments at that, because it was me, Toll, Wes, Dom, Dave came as well. At one point, I think it's maybe before Dave got there, but Dom brought his own little vegan pizza. And we started talking about veganism, and then Wes leans over to Dom and he's like, "So are you vegan by choice?" Or?
Yes, you did.
Which is not a
Are you-
crazy question, but it was just more.
Are
the
you
way,
medically vegan?
Yeah.
You really want to do this?
So you vegan
Yeah.
by choice?
Yeah.
Or- It was just the way he kind of said it, where I was like, "It's not a sexuality." You know what I mean?
I was born this way.
Yeah, it was just very funny. Where I was like, I mean, it's kind of a choice. I mean, you know,
It is a choice.
it's kind of always a choice when you think about it. It was just very funny, just the way because being very polite about it, but it was just funny.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Patreon.com/NoSleepDSM. That's how you can support this here podcast. That's how we pay Shyla. We pay her, I mean, frankly, a shitload of money. Possibly
For all
too
that
much.
work, we
Yeah.
should.
She gets writing credit. She gets producer credit. So if you want to support what we got going here, that's a great way to do it, baby. $1, $5, it all matters. All dollars matter here, pal. Anyway,
$12.
I didn't mean that to be an
I'm
all
fucking
lives
starving.
matter
I'm
thing.
excited for that sandwich in my car.
Yeah, what kind of sandwich?
Oh, it's like a thinly sliced chicken, huge hoagie sub.
Just out there aging in the car to a perfect.
I got my sweet onion chips. Yeah, it's aging perfectly under some dirty underwear, so so homeless people don't steal it.
Yeah. No, that's going to make them more.
Yeah.
That's like chum in the water.
It totally is.
So, yeah. Anyway, AJ Simmons, that's my name. Podcasting with my friends is the game.
And I am Toll McGrain. I'm not a pain, and I'm gonna open a vein.
Wow.
Thank you. In my lane. I'm not gonna open a vein.
I'm Alex Carter,
It's crazy.
and I love you.
Goodbye. Thank you for watching.
Fucking AJ, Toll and Alex. They're fucking hilarious.
This is a certified hood classic. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.